For some time I have been selling ICEpower 1200 amplifiers. Those are absolutely exceptional amplifiers, and there is a long wish list what people want to be added to this power stage. But let's think together about the concept a little bit. This is a board what we're talking about, and I made a kit for this board because this board really sounds amazing. Of course there is a long discussion which one is better, it's ICEpower or it's Hypex or it's Purify, and there is a Purify model. This model is so good, but ICEpower is true winner when we are coming to fully integrated solution, to functionality. They're equal by audio quality, but functionality and integrated by design, that's a critical item in my point of view. This board is true winner. There's a plenty of great options, like for example there is no high voltage capacitor on the primary side, it's a weak point. There is a PFC, very well designed PFC, and then all those capacitors are close to power stage. There are proprietary chipsets, ICEpower chipsets, and there are 4 channels. Those channels are set in a bridge, and this bridge configuration allow you to work with the same power for 4 ohms and for 8 ohms. You can deliver in a stereo about 600 watts for 4 ohms and 600 watts for 8 ohms, and overall this amplifier has about 450 watts with 0.003% total harmonic distortions, very low distortions up to 450 watts, and then you have 150 watts for a headrooms. So many good things. I have another videos where I have told about all the benefits. And now our total harmonic distortions and noise and everything is so low, so good quality, that adding something to such a board, you should be really careful how you do that. You need super high quality volume regulator, and the volume regulator should be built according top guidances how to do that. And I made a kit for those who want to build such amplifier. Of course you can buy integrated amplifier as well from me, but I think for everyone who wants to a little bit save or do it by yourself, you can build it in 10 minutes. I have instructions how to do that, and this is my kit. Yeah, this is my top selling kit, and you can see there's just outputs, professional outputs, and balanced inputs, and fan for cooling. So minimal viable product, but then you really keep all the quality what you have. And then I get a request, could you put one thing or another thing? And today I will show you one of the solutions, also not so common in consumer industry, but I think this is the best solution what you can make. So typically, could you add RCA inputs? It's also not that simple. You should put electronics. I should carefully design a board. And here is one example. It is a very small Soundcraft mixer. What does it mean, professional mixer? Actually, it's a preamplifier. And then you have analog inputs, RCA. You have analog balanced inputs if you want. You have volume regulation. You have, even at several stages, you can balance. For example, you have vinyl, and then you have some I don't know, mono DAC. You can mix everything together, and then you have a balanced outputs built by the book. Really, it's a true feng shui design, and Soundcraft is famous mixer designer. So many important things, and when we are putting kind of volume regulator or something else, it should be highest grade. Because when you do some often volume regulation with a knob, this knob should last for many years. That means that would be properly chosen. And many China designs really has a problem, and after a year, after 2, they start to scratch and you need to clean it or replace. The same with audio interfaces. But with a mixture, those good manufacturers, they really choose a good knobs. It's a good question where they do that, because in a normal market it's hard to buy those knobs which last forever. Not forever, okay, for many years. And you know, about the price. When you really want to make a good preamplifier with all those functions, There's plenty of electronics, and if you make it in a low volume, those costs hundreds or couple hundreds or 300s or even more, and we call it as a super preamplifier. But in professional world, it's already sold many years ago. Yeah, maybe interface looks unfamiliar, but in all, design, long-lasting, how it is designed. Could you imagine in professional industry that someone buy a mixture and in half a year that those knobs start scratching? In professional industry, you are working with those every day. You are adjusting something or putting some additional volumes, really tiny ones, and you know, here's a singer, and you did some a little adjustment and you have a scratch on top of the performance. It's unacceptable. So this professional industry really design less variations of models, but when you buy set and grade units, those perform. And I think this is a good solution for everyone who wants volume regulation, who wants a level match, who wants analog inputs and some inputs from the digital analog converter. The overall total harmonic distortions of those units from the line input are also around those 0.00 and then some digit or 3 or 2 or 1 or something else. Anyway, it's not problem with that configuration that you have some degradation of audio, and this is built by the book. Those units are designed by exceptionally good engineers with decades of experience. They specialize in that. And for everyone who wants to add something to regulate volume or achieve some extra regulations, that's good. Some extra bonuses, yes, you can do some recordings with a PC. Also, there is some kind of digital analog converter, but not a top grade. Pretty good, pretty good for a music. It's 16-bit good digital analog converter. There is a dedicated driver, which is important for a computer, and you can make everything. For voice recording and audio recording, I would say 24-bit recording is important, and that's not for that. So I'm not suggesting this particular unit if you want to do a voice recording. But you can, of course, like I'm talking here, you can do it in a great quality. It will be absolutely great quality. And chosen microphone will define the outcome. And let's check how does it look inside that real unit. So, and as any units which are produced in large volumes, there is a good packaging. Let's check later on what's there. Yeah, excellent, well packaged. Some safety instructions according to European Union requirements. And what is here? Yeah, some small hands package that. Where it's produced, I don't know. I guess in China for that price, because this unit price is excellent. About 115 euros you can find it. It's cheaper than China produced lowest grade digital to analog converters with balanced outputs. Yeah, it's cheaper. Fantastic. Yeah. The build quality, awesome. Build quality, awesome. Okay, I thought it was manufactured in China. No, it is manufactured in United States, in California. Really? For that price? It can't be. But who knows? When we are talking about large volumes is the only way how can you get the quality and price in sync. So this is very good price for that. And pay attention to DC 18 volts. It's important because it is important for dynamic range for output, and when you have that DC about 18 volts, you can get almost 10 volts dynamic range. And we need, in a balance that we need for that amplifier max for 8 ohms, 3.8 volts. We have significant reserve. We are working away from clipping. It always will be in a non-clipping area. Let's see what is inside the box. Not handy. And power supply, and since I am living in Europe, it's supplied with a European power supply. Fantastic, fantastic. What do you think? Everything is in good quality, and at least power supply, where it is manufactured. This should be manufactured in China. Yeah, made in China, made in China. But what is good with that power supply? No, it is certified. It is certified for US and for European Union. There's all safety requirements. Also, it is designed in a way that there is no harm in professional industry. It is critically important when you put many different units together, so there's insulated input-output. There's specific architecture how you should manufacture such type of power supplies. Actually, a lot depends on the quality of power supply, what will be the background noise, and then how good the device will work. So there are so many things what you should do properly, and probably one thing what I'm not recommending, add kind of third-party weak or non-branded preamps. They can draw fantastic characteristics, but I think you can buy some proven things as well, like from the Soundcraft. Yeah, for normal user it looks, Jesus, this is something not normal, but it is so handy to use it, so handy to use it. And one more item. Even you are looking for high fidelity equipment and want some wireless, there is nothing better than cable. And in balanced connections, you can put that Soundcraft device away from amplifier, and wire lengths could be for amplifier a couple of 100 meters. Of course, we don't need it, but they are safe and perfect for use it. And look, those are reliable, excellent connectors with a key lock. Yeah. Now, there are plenty of different installation adapters, even for a floor mount, for a wall mount, and you can put together such system that you have a computer on the left and that one on the right, and you can listen your music with the best possible quality, even from the computer. And computer is a powerful streaming device. It can stream any services. All applications are working. Those applications has a backward compatibility, and so on and so on and so on. So many things which in consumer designs are difficult to achieve, especially backward compatibility. There are China units what comes with the fantastic parameters, but when you look at the operating system, there is Android, and then they maybe a couple of years do this streaming application and services compatibility, and there is a new unit, a new microprocessor, and backward compatibility is not possible. Backward compatibility is expensive, really expensive. So this is one of the options for those who want a volume regulator. But then the volume regulator will be, let's say, according to the reference design, and there will not be audio quality degradation. I'm not talking about the microphones, this is an additional option, but you have 2 RCA inputs and you have 2 balanced inputs. How to use it? Hard to say. And for playback, there is a 16-bit good digital analog converter inside. Not a top one, but a good one. And then you have very good output circuits, which has significant importance if you want to precise music reproduction. This is where 5-volt driven units are really suffering, because when you have a 5-volt power supply and all that audio interfaces and some budget ducts, what you have without mains, then this is challenge. But here you have a good power supply, and you can work with a high voltage power supply inside, and then you have a large dynamic range, and this really will deliver excellent performance. If you have very good digital analog converter, and then use only analog part of that mixture, then it also works well. Also, it solves several problems for digital analog converters without volume control. No, so many options, but at very end you need something where you regulate the volume, and that mixture, it works like a good preamplifier, I would say. There are more advanced models also with 24-bit digital to analog conversion, and with a higher price. Of course, you can choose several. I'm over showing the minimum viable product. This is minimum viable product to work with a modern power amplifier stage. And how it should work together with this amplifier. Simply adding inputs, and that's it. Now you can see that those two units together give integrated amplifier. This is power stage, absolute excellence. This is endgame amplifier. And why such architecture is better than integrated amplifier? The first, power amplifier hitting ceilings. So practically there is no way to build a better amplifier. Currently we are exceeding human hearing limits. The next development will come in size. This power amplifier will become smaller and smaller in size. We will use some GaNFETs and different components, and then probably when everything will go to super integration, probably we can get a half size. So this will be 600 watt amplifier somewhere here. But even today, counting that there is a 600 watt, even kilowatt per channel is possible, but you don't need it for your home usage. But regarding the preamp, about the digital analog conversion, streaming services, new services maybe which will come, this part is continuously developing. And that means why, when you integrate, then you can't follow. You also need to pay for both units. But if you separate them, then this is perfect. Also, you can locate such amplifier away from preamp part. For example, the right place is as close as possible to speakers, actually. Actually, you can build a monoblocks and put nearby loudspeakers. And this particular board has such function as a wake up from signal. That means you shouldn't care about amplifier part at all. In a moment when you start to play music here, those will wake up, and this system works in a way that after 18 minutes, not seconds, after half an hour idle, it will go to sleep by themselves, everything switch off, and it consumes only 250 milliwatts. So this is how I see future. And those who are just living in consumer world, you even don't know that there is alternative for preamplifiers. We are buying 1000 watts preamplifiers with the same parameters and functionality as those ones, just having nice display. But sometimes it's worth to mix both worlds, professional and consumer, and then you get maximum value, and all saved money put in speakers. Speaker side still is not solved. And also those who want a separate device with separate streaming and so many things, think also about possibilities all in one computer, and then you have maybe some kind of better digital analog converter, and then I think this is by far more powerful solution. It is very easy to work with a keyboard, with a mouse. It's much easier than working with applications and other stuff. And summarizing, my answer for those who want volume regulation and preamp and mix with the vinyl, and maybe there was even some guys who want to mix with the tape recorders. So many wish lists that analog mixture is solving all your needs. And as I said, what is more important, you have proper power supply. It's not a USB limited by USB and USB current and USB voltage. And it's designed by experts who are working in that area for many years. And the price, about 115 euros. I personally think that it is very good price. For all functionality, for all genius engineers work, and so form factor and how easy to work with that. So this is my recommendation for everyone who wants even temporary quickly put some volume regulation. Yeah, fantastic. So now you can build your own amplifier. It's very easy. You can watch some building instructions and you will get endgame amplifier for reasonable money. And those who want volume regulation are the stuff. Here's a unit. And I really recommend to think about the overall architecture. All-in-one desktop computer also has some space to live, because this all-in-one computer allow you to listen music at the background. You can watch a YouTube. You can add different services. You can also parallel work with many things and simultaneously listen high quality music. And if you properly configure with the right drivers, that quality will be awesome. Let's think out of the box.